Good morning. Thank you for joining us on Pastor's Corner. Uh, Hope you're having a blessed Sunday. We pray that this coming week is blessed. As you could tell, we're in one of the other locations at the church facility right now. But we thank you for joining us. We're going to go to the book of Psalms, the 121st Psalm, Psalm 121. Verses 1 and 2, it reads, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence come my help? I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. My help cometh from the Lord who made heaven and earth. I will look to the hills where my help cometh from. I know that it starts with a metaphor of the hills, and then it specifies specifically the Lord, of course. And I believe for all of us that we understand this, our help comes from the Lord. My help comes from the Lord, and I'll say this. If my help comes from the Lord makes me a weak person, then I am weak. That I need His help. I need His help. And I'll go as far as saying it amazes me how some people live life without recognizing the Lord, acknowledging the Lord, and have no prayer. Don't pray, or pray occasionally, or pray when times are really tough, extremely tough. Then that's when somebody may pray. I can't do that. I need His help. I need His help uh, daily, hourly, every minute of the day. I need His help. Not that I'm hanging by a thread or the skin of my teeth, but I understand I can't live this life without His help. We're going in as a group into what we call our 21-day fast. It starts this coming week. I know that a lot of people have started doing a 21-day fast. It's pretty common now going into starting a year, and different types of fasts. I won't go into great depth on the different types of fasts, but I'm going to reiterate what I have spoken throughout time on this program here. What fasting does, it's the barometer that the make-believe barometer that I use here, where we turn down our carnality of our outer flesh. We turn it down with fasting. We begin to turn the carnality, the flesh side of us. We turn it down when we fast. We turn it down. We pull it back. We pull in the reins of this temple, this body, this flesh. We turn it down. Now, I do want to touch where some people see fasting as a form of gaining the Lord's love, gaining the Lord's acceptance. And I don't view fasting that way. I don't view fasting in the form that if I fast, the Lord's going to love me more. It's gonna bring this, like as a child in elementary school, get you a star on the chart, the little sticker on the chart. That's not how I view it, like merit points, because I fast or you fast. I see that when we fast, when you fast, when I fast, there are physical benefits that we should recognize. I've heard other speakers touching spiritual fasting and say that we should not fast for physical benefits. And I'll have to say I disagree with that. I disagree that physical benefits are part of fasting, and we should recognize that is not, to me, downplaying our connection with the Lord. That fasting is something that benefits us physically, and the knowledge of fasting has increased in the last 10, 15 years, the benefits. And there's doctors out there that they are big on fasting. They get patients and begin to monitor them with that have different diseases, and put them on these fasts and watch the transition that happens. Again, I don't want to get into all of the medical side of that, but there are physical benefits to fasting. But getting back to knocking this carnal side of us, that the more you feed the carnality, the physical side, the flesh, the more it wants. If you give it one cookie, it wants two cookies. If you give it two cookies, it wants three cookies. You know what it's like. I'm just using cookies. Whatever you desire in those different ways. We're all different. We can pick other things, donuts, whatever it is. It doesn't just have to be sweets. It could be what they call comfort food. Don't get me wrong, I understand the concept of comfort food, but I believe that if you discipline yourself and you eat comfort food, it's not as detrimental to you than it is if that's all you do is comfort food 3, 4 times a day, continuously feasting and never pulling this flesh back. And when we pull the flesh back, we rein it in. I view it this way: you actually enjoy food better, or more, I should say. You enjoy food more when you fast. It brings out different things. I'll give you this quickly. When we started doing long water fasts, I was never big on onions. I would actually remove onions from things. But when we started doing long water fasts, coming out of it, I had this craving for onions, wherever that came from. Now I'll add onions to things that I never did before when prior to doing long water fasts. It just changed my palate. It changed those things, and it brought a different uh, appreciation for some, because onions represents one of our taste buds. So it I think it brought it out, like sour, sweet, salty, the different things that we recognize, because that that's there. There's different things like sour and sweet, that salty, that we recognize, and you know what that is, because that's what causes us to eat, what causes us to take things in. But I say it this way: purpose, understanding purpose when we take something in. Now, getting to our scripture, where my help comes from. My help cometh from the Lord. I look to the Lord where my help comes from. When I begin to take this flesh down, and you begin to take this flesh down, it allows us to lean more into embracing His help. Yes, embracing His help. I struggle with asking people for help. I struggle with that. It's what I mean, struggle. Maybe struggle is a hard word to use, or a negative word to use, but it's a challenge for me to ask people for help, uh, for various reasons I won't get into right now. But I don't struggle asking the Lord for help. It's not a challenge for me to ask the Lord for help. In fact, I ask Him all the time. I ask the Lord for help all the time. And not just ask Him for help, but also recognize it's by Him, it's through Him. I wouldn't be sitting here right now if it wasn't for His mercy. I wouldn't be sitting here right now if it wasn't for His grace. And yes, I thank God for materialistic uh, provisions and resources in the physical realm. I thank Him. I give Him honor. I give Him thanks. I give Him praise for supplying my needs. But my heart. I thank God for my heart. In other words, peace in my heart. I thank God for calmness in my heart. What is peace and calmness in there? The absence of the wrong fear, the absence of stress, the absence of anxiety. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't think that I don't have situations that are heavy and challenging and difficult, because I do. But when I'm going through those challenges, difficulties, storms in my life, and I have to navigate them just like you do, and I have to make decisions like you have to, and I have to control how I express myself and what's bouncing off of my heart and my mind inside of myself. I have to control that to the best of my ability. At those times, I also recognize my help cometh from the Lord. I look to the hills. And those challenges, when I'm in it, when I'm in a storm, when I'm in a challenge, and the mind is going, and you're deciding, I'm deciding, but I'm sure you go through it too. How am I gonna deal with this? How am I gonna approach this? What's gonna be my decisions concerning whatever it might be, whatever it is in our lives that we go through. Uh, we could pick out many things that we go through as individuals. But when I'm going through it and I'm in the midst of it, I still have to pull from that help, of course. But when I'm not going through it, I have to store that up. I have to store it up. But peace in my heart, peace in my mind. And as I get older, I recognize it more. As I get older, I recognize peace more today than I did 20 years ago. But at the same time, I also recognize the storms more. I recognize the clouds coming uh, from a distance more than I did at my younger age. Not that I have PTSD, post traumatic stress syndrome, uh, uh, if I said that correctly. Not that I have that. Uh, you know the term, the that people coming back from war, or people that have been through traumatic situations, even an injury, uh, a traumatic injury, a sickness can cause us to have this. And sometimes I can recognize that in other individuals. I can recognize that something traumatic happened and it's causing them at this time of their life to deal with something in a certain way, and other people won't understand. They won't recognize that that individual has gone through something and it's causing them to have a reaction today for something that happened yesterday. So that I look and understand, okay, I recognize things. I could smell them from a distance clearer, and I'm using that as a metaphor, not literally, because of life. Life happens and things happen. But peace, 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 peace. Having peace. Sorry about that. That's our friend that's been with us. You may have seen him. He just joined us. He had a little accident again, and what I mean is he's got his ears damaged, so we're keeping him close by, and that's why he just came through. He gets a little territorial, so he'll. That's probably why he jumped in here right now. But anyways, that that we go through these situations, and we may have gone through something in the past, so it causes us to react today differently because of it. But to have the peace, to have peace in our hearts, in our minds. But that's where the help from the Lord comes from. That I want you to get from what I'm giving you today is get your help from the Lord in the good times, get your help from the Lord in the challenging times. Just always be gathering that help and understanding that it's to our benefit, your benefit, and my benefit to turn this flesh down uh, at whatever level it is for you and whatever level it is for me. That we rein it in, we take control of it, so that it doesn't overtake us. So our help cometh from the Lord. Look unto the hills where it comes from, the one that created the heavens and the earth. Thank you for joining us today on Pastor's Corner. I hope you had a blessed week again. I pray that you have a blessed week coming up. We will be here in the sanctuary shortly at 12 o'clock noon Arizona time, 1363 South Vineyard in Mesa, 85210. If you'd like to bless us financially, there'll be different ways that you can give there, and you could text 77977 New Creation AZ, New Creation AZ 77977. Thank you for joining us, and have a blessed Sunday.